Throw away your overpriced whey protein powders and stop letting the $30 billion supplement industry lie to you about muscle loss. A simple 50-cent bean is all it takes to stop muscle decay instantly and force your body to rebuild lean tissue at any age. The massive sports nutrition conglomerates have deliberately buried the clinical data on this common legume because they know you would never buy another tub of their toxic, chemical-filled protein sludge again. They have built an empire on your fear of growing weak, convincing you that the only way to maintain your strength as you age is to consume massive quantities of artificially flavored, heavily processed synthetic isolates. The truth is that nature engineered a perfectly balanced anabolic trigger centuries ago, and it costs less than a handful of spare change. The executives sitting in their glass towers are terrified that this hidden knowledge is finally leaking out, because once you understand the biological override this simple food provides, their entire business model collapses overnight. For decades, the fitness and supplement cartel has pushed a narrative that age-related muscle loss is an inevitability that can only be slowed down by purchasing their highly engineered, wildly expensive products. They label this condition sarcopenia, making it sound like a permanent disease rather than a reversible metabolic state. They flood the market with gigantic plastic tubs of whey, casein, and soy protein isolates, hiding the fact that these powders are routinely heavily contaminated with heavy metals, artificial sweeteners, and industrial thickeners that wreck your gut microbiome and place massive oxidative stress on your kidneys. They want you trapped in a cycle of dependency, forcing you to consume hundreds of grams of synthetic protein daily, which your aging digestive system cannot even fully break down or absorb. You are literally flushing your money down the drain while your muscles continue to shrink and your joints continue to ache. This is not an accident. It is a calculated strategy. By isolating proteins away from their natural enzymatic cofactors, these companies create products that spike your insulin and cause systemic inflammation, ensuring you remain a lifelong, dependent customer who is never quite healthy enough to stop buying their supplements. While I am exposing the biological truths the fitness industry desperately wants to keep hidden, I am an independent researcher and strategist, not your attending physician. This information is meant to arm you with the science they suppress, and it is strictly for educational purposes. You should always consult with your primary care doctor before changing your dietary regimen, especially if you have existing kidney or metabolic conditions or are on prescription medications. However, once you understand the precise cellular mechanisms at play, you will immediately see why the medical and supplement boards go to such extreme lengths to keep this botanical protocol out of the mainstream conversation. To comprehend why this specific bean is so incredibly powerful, you must look deep into the microscopic machinery of your own muscle tissue. As we age, our bodies develop a phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. When you were in your 20s, almost any protein you ate would trigger a biological pathway called mTOR, which stands for the mammalian target of rapamycin. This mTOR pathway is the master switch for muscle protein synthesis. It is the signal that tells your body to take amino acids from your blood and weave them into new, dense muscle fibers. But as you cross the age of 50, 60, and beyond, your mTOR pathway becomes stubborn. It becomes resistant to the signal. You can eat a massive steak or drink an expensive protein shake, and the switch simply refuses to flip. Your body breaks the protein down, but instead of using it to build muscle, it converts it into glucose or stores it as fat, leaving your muscles starving and slowly decaying. The supplement industry claims their isolated powders solve this by flooding your system with pure amino acids, specifically leucine, which is the primary trigger for mTOR. But they are lying to you by omission. Leucine, without its natural botanical matrix, acts like a flash flood on dry earth. It washes over the system without being properly absorbed, causing rapid spikes in blood urea nitrogen and putting immense strain on your renal system. Your cells require a specific, slow-drip delivery mechanism bound to natural fiber, phytonutrients, and vital enzymes to actually unlock the resistant mTOR receptors. This is the biological secret the industry has spent millions trying to obscure. They cannot patent a natural delivery system, so they extract the raw components, destroy the synergy, and sell you the compromised leftovers. This 50-cent botanical marvel contains a unique, naturally occurring biological matrix that completely bypasses age-related anabolic resistance. It possesses an extraordinarily dense concentration of vital amino acids, but more importantly, it is locked within a specific type of prebiotic fiber and a unique glycoprotein structure. When you consume this bean, the digestion process is slow, deliberate, and highly efficient. It creates a sustained, hours-long release of muscle-building blocks directly into your bloodstream. It doesn't cause a toxic spike. It provides a steady, relentless pressure on the mTOR pathway until the switch is forced open. It effectively tricks your aging cells into behaving as if they are decades younger, eagerly pulling in the nutrients and instantly initiating the repair and growth of new muscle tissue, completely halting the decay process in its tracks. Furthermore, this incredible legume contains high levels of specific polyphenols that directly combat the low-grade systemic inflammation that acts as a roadblock to muscle growth in seniors. Inflammation is the fire that burns away your lean tissue. By extinguishing this fire at the cellular level while simultaneously providing the exact structural building blocks your body is begging for, this bean creates the perfect anabolic environment. It is a dual-action biological miracle that costs pennies on the dollar compared to the useless, inflammatory powders pushed by sponsored athletes and compromised health magazines. The truth is, sitting right there in the agricultural data, waiting for anyone brave enough to look past the marketing propaganda. The secret ingredient I am talking about is the Lupinus albus, commonly known as the sweet white Lupini bean. Now, do not confuse this with standard canned beans you find in the soup aisle, like black beans or kidney beans. While those are fine foods, they do not possess the precise, dense amino acid profile and glycoprotein matrix of the true, raw Lupini bean. The Lupini is an ancient Mediterranean powerhouse, historically used by Roman soldiers to maintain extreme physical endurance and muscle mass during grueling campaigns. It has the highest protein density per calorie of almost any plant on Earth, completely dwarfing soybeans and chickpeas, and it contains virtually zero starch, meaning it will not spike your blood sugar or contribute to insulin resistance. The fitness industry is fully aware of the Lupini bean. In fact, pharmaceutical companies are currently trying to isolate its specific protein structures to patent them as synthetic anti-sarcopenia drugs. They want to steal the magic, alter it in a lab, and sell it back to you for hundreds of dollars a month. To harness this power correctly, you must avoid the pre-cooked, heavily salted, packaged Lupini snacks often found in specialty stores. Those have been subjected to extreme heat and commercial processing that denatures the delicate glycoprotein structures and destroys the vital enzymes required for optimal mTOR activation. You must source dry, raw, sweet Lupini beans. They are incredibly cheap and can be found in bulk at Middle Eastern or Italian grocers or easily ordered online. They should be hard, pale yellow, and completely dry. The preparation of these raw beans is the crucial step, and it is the barrier to entry that keeps most lazy consumers relying on expensive powders. If you skip this process, you will not unlock the anabolic potential of the food. The preparation is a precise, multi-day hydration and activation protocol. Raw Lupini beans contain naturally occurring bitter alkaloids that act as the plant's defense mechanism. These must be systematically drawn out. First, you will take 1 pound of the dry beans and rinse them thoroughly in cold water. Place them in a large glass bowl, never metal or plastic as this can react with the natural compounds, and cover them with at least 4 inches of cold filtered water. You must let them soak for 24 hours. During this time, the beans will awaken from their dormant state, and the enzymatic activation process begins. They will swell to almost triple their original size. After 24 hours, drain the water, which will have pulled out the first layer of bitter compounds. Next, transfer the swollen beans to a large pot, cover them with fresh water, and bring them to a gentle, rolling boil. Let them simmer for exactly 45 minutes. This precise application of heat breaks down the outer cellular walls just enough to make the interior proteins highly bioavailable, without destroying the core amino acid chains. After 45 minutes, drain the boiling water and immediately submerge the beans in an ice bath to stop the cooking process. Now begins the final curing phase. Place the cooled beans back into a large glass container, Cover them with fresh cold water and add a heavy pinch of natural sea salt. You will place this container in your refrigerator. For the next 3 to 5 days, you must drain and replace the water once every morning and once every evening. You will literally see the water turn slightly cloudy as the remaining alkaloids are flushed out. By day 5, the beans will be incredibly tender, sweet, and structurally perfect for human digestion. You have just created a highly active, bioavailable anabolic food source that rivals any medical-grade supplement on Earth. The application of this metabolic protocol must be consistent to override your body's muscle decay. You will consume exactly 1/2 cup of these prepared Lupini beans every single day. The timing is critical. To maximize the mTOR activation, you should consume this serving approximately 1 hour before your most active part of the day, whether that is a morning walk, gardening, or a structured exercise routine. The slow digesting matrix will ensure a steady stream of leucine and anabolic triggers are flooding your bloodstream exactly when your muscles are demanding resources. For an added biological advantage, consume them with a small source of healthy fats, like a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, which further enhances the absorption of the fat-soluble phytonutrients contained within the bean. The timeline of physical transformation when using this protocol is profound. On day 1, you will notice an unusual feeling of sustained physical energy. Because the Lupini bean provides zero starch and pure, slow-burning structural energy, you will not experience the typical afternoon fatigue or lethargy. Your digestion will feel remarkably light, a stark contrast to the heavy, bloating sensation caused by synthetic whey powders. By day 7, the true biological shifts begin to manifest. You will start to feel a subtle density returning to your limbs. That soft, wasting feeling in your arms and legs will begin to feel firmer. Your grip strength, which is one of the most accurate indicators of overall senior vitality, will noticeably improve. You will find it easier to stand up from a deep chair and easier to carry groceries because the systemic decay of your muscle tissue has been entirely halted. By day 30, the visual and physical results become undeniable. The sustained mTOR activation will have forced your body to lay down new, lean muscle fibers. You will see a visible return of muscle fullness in your shoulders, chest, and thighs. The chronic joint aching that you thought was arthritis will likely diminish, because as your muscles grow stronger, they take the mechanical load off of your aging joints and ligaments. You are no longer just surviving, you are actively rebuilding your physical architecture. You will have successfully bypassed the pharmaceutical and fitness industry's trap, proving that the human body is perfectly capable of maintaining strength and vitality well into advanced age, provided it is given the correct, natural biological signals. This 50-cent bean is your declaration of independence from a $30 billion industry that profits from your physical decline. By preparing and consuming this ancient food, you are reclaiming your strength, your mobility, and your dignity. You do not need to be wealthy to be strong, and you do not need synthetic chemicals to be healthy. The power to stop muscle decay is not found in a plastic tub with a shiny label. It is found in the dirt, in the ancient wisdom of true nutrition, and in the willingness to take your health back into your own hands. Stop funding the executives who want to keep you weak, and start feeding your body the natural strength it deserves. If you are ready to completely reject the lies of the mainstream health industry and uncover the real, buried science of human vitality, you must take action. Subscribe to this channel right now and hit the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into the truths they are trying to censor. Check the description below for direct links to source the highest quality raw, heirloom sweet Lupini beans, along with the detailed, printable curing instructions so you can start this process immediately. Your journey to lifelong strength and absolute physical freedom begins today. Do not let them keep you weak.